Wake up! Columbus, this is your show, bringing you the newest, hottest artists in the city, comedians, and trending topics. This is
Wake and Grind! Wake and Grind! Wake and Grind!
one of the hottest up-and-coming DJs in the city.
Swamp Thing DJ!
DJ Swamp Thing.
Wake and Grind!
And of course, keeping you in touch with the city. The always class. Tiffany. Yeah.
Wake and Grind! Wake and Grind!
Former 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick takes a knee during the national anthem in San Francisco last year. We noticed, but very few players joined him. Not many players seem to care. He can't get a job in the NFL now, and very few have said much about that either. But the president says he wants that peaceful protest to stop, says those players should be fired if they take a knee during the anthem, and calls those players a name I never thought I'd live long enough to hear a president say, and now everybody cares. Donald Trump has said he supports a peaceful protest because it's an American's right, but not this protest, and there's the problem. Any protest you don't agree with is a protest that should be stopped. Martin Luther King should have marched across a different bridge. Young black Americans should have gone to a different college and found a different lunch counter. And college kids in the 60s had no right to protest an immoral war. I served in the military during the Vietnam War, and my foot hurt too. But I've served anyway. My best friend in high school was killed in Vietnam, and Carol Meyer will be 18 years old forever, and he did not die so that you could decide who is a patriot and who loves America more. The young black athletes are not disrespecting America or the military by taking a knee during the anthem. They are respecting the best thing about America. It's a dog whistle to the racist among us to say otherwise. They and all of us should protest how black Americans are treated in this country. And if you don't think white privilege is a fact, you don't understand America. The comedian Chris Rock says it best. There's not a white man in America who would trade places with him, and he's rich. It has not gone unnoticed that Trump has spoken out against the Mexicans who want to come to America for a better life, against the Muslims, and now against the black athlete. But he says nothing for days about the white men who marched under a Nazi flag in Charlottesville, except to remind us there were good people there. And when he finally tried to say the right thing, not one of them was called an SOB or should be fired. We have white men in America who wave the Nazi flag and the Confederate flag, and he's concerned about taking a knee because it disrespects this flag. We use that flag to sell mattresses and beer. We wear it as a swimsuit. We wrap our bald heads in a flag bandana and stick it in our pants because we disrespect that flag every day. Maybe we all need to read the Constitution again. There has never been a better use of pen to paper. Our forefathers made freedom of speech the First Amendment. They listed 10, and not one of them says you have to stand during the anthem. And I think those men respected the country they fought for and founded a great deal more than the self-proclaimed patriots who are simply hypocrites because they want to deny the basic freedom of this great country, a country they supposedly value and cherish so much.
Breaking Ground Radio, it's your man DJ Swamp Thing and my girl Tiffany L.
What's that?
So yeah, that was man, what was his name? I had it written down. Hold on. That was Hanson with Unplugged, giving his thoughts about the recent events with NFL versus President 45 and what it really means. So that was pretty much a prelude about what this show was going to be all about today. Of course, we have a lot of guests calling in and artists that's going to be here in the station today representing for Speak Your Truth that is going on next weekend with David Banner. The 4th, 5th, and 6th is going to be a very, very, very lively event, a very in-touch event. And we wanted to, again, like we said before, when we've had these kind of more serious shows, that, you know, it's cool to joke around and have fun and play music and do all of that. But, you know, as people, as American people, we cannot deny or try to turn a blind eye to what's going on when we turn these mics off. So we want to try to be a voice or try to speak on some of the things that are happening and get you guys involved. Of course, you can always call here at the station, 781-0754, 614 area code. So yeah, that's you know, we're gonna be talking a lot about that and Trump versus North Korea, Trump versus NFL, Trump versus what else, Tiffany?
The NBA,
pretty much everybody.
Trump versus Puerto Rico. I mean,
Yeah.
It's pretty much everything. We've got a lot going on. Certainly, there's a travel ban going on that was reinstated because of, you know, the current, you know, turmoil that we have going on in the country, the world right now. Mostly that 45 started. We also have what else is going on?
Oh, we got, well, like I said,
I mean, yeah, when we talked about, we still got, you know, all the business with the hurricanes and, you know, how much the estimated amount of money is, how we're getting aid to them versus who we're snubbing. And basically, I mean, the main question is what is United States' responsibility to Puerto Rico? Because if we're claiming Puerto Rico as an entity of the United States, then isn't it our responsibility, our job, our joy to take care of them, to make sure that they're good if they're not, and vice versa? And that the whole point of, you know, working together and having a United States or, you know, affiliates and what's the other word? Allies.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that we're being a really good ally when we're
Yeah.
not making sure that these basic needs of water and power and gas are being met when we have so much here. And, you know, while logistically it is difficult to get it to them because it's, you know, it's an island and we have to fly it and all that stuff, it's not impossible.
Right.
And in fact, it's being made more impossible, I guess, or more difficult because of the Jones Act that's going on. Are you familiar with that?
No, I'm not.
So basically, the Jones Act is
that the bill that he kind of snuck in? No, that's the
that's
the healthcare or the I know what you're talking about, but go ahead.
The Jones Act is basically we tax anything that's going in or going out, and it's whether or not we lift this tax on goods going in and out to get the aid where it needs to get without them having to double pay for basically this water and this aid that's coming to him. And he lifted the Jones Act in order for Texas and Florida to get the things that they needed, but he did not do the same for Puerto Rico, and basically stated, you know, we're going to help Puerto Rico. We care about Puerto Rico, and I'll be there in a week, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 days after the tragedy is hit. And basically, Congress is talking about the fact that the ball won't even really get started rolling until the first or second week of October.
Wow, that's I think I did remember hearing something about that. Now that you were more specific, and they were kind of waiting on. I heard that they were kind of waiting on some certain accommodations to be
Something
done.
About the infrastructure is very unstable, which of course we can only imagine. I mean, like.
Well,
Hurricane Maria.
I was gonna say it just went through a horrific storm. The whole state is unstable right now.
Right.
I mean,
and for him to act as though, you know, there should be a brand new Trump Tower built in order for him to take a visit, it's pretty ridiculous. While people are passing away in hospitals that don't have electricity to power, you know, the life-saving, you know, machines that everybody needs. So
right. So so you know, again, a lot going on. Hopefully we'll be able to fit everything in. We are running trying to run a very tight ship today. I know all of our guests said that they would be here short from the time they were supposed to. So hopefully it's not too long. I know Meek Perry, the executive director of Speaking Truth, is en route. And then our two in-house artists are scheduled for a little after 7. And that's Cassius Keys and I Soldier. And once they get here, Tiffany will engage with them into some questions. And then we have 3 callers from 3 different artists who are involved with Speak Your Truth who are from out of town. So they're they're actually going to make a trip here. I'm guessing towards the end of next week, as we get into next weekend. But we're going to talk to them and ask them just a couple of very, very simple questions just about their involvement with Speak the Truth, and maybe be able to try to get a short input on their views about what's going on. And of course, we want to hear from all of you. Definitely want to hear from all of you today. What do you think about this whole NFL thing? Have we lost touch from why Colin Kaepernick originally did this? Have we lost? My opinion is my answer to that, in my opinion, is yes. I definitely think we've lost the sight of why he originally did it, and now it's another fight instead of trying to resolve the original fight that Colin Kaepernick had. So we're gonna take a quick break, give our guests a chance to get here. Hopefully when we come back, we'll be able to continue this. And again, like I said, we definitely appreciate everybody that's hanging on and listening to us and vibing with us in times like this, where you have to try to be aware or stay aware of what's going on. There's a lot of things that are important that's going on in the country that needs to be spoke upon. Everybody has an opinion to say about watching reality TV and hip hop and loving hip hop and the Kardashians and all of that stuff. Well, these things are happening right now in our backyard, and it's reality. So let's chime in on stuff like that. So here's what's going on, man. Marvin Gaye. Let's do it. Breaking Ground Radio.
Hey, what's up now? Brother, what's up? This is a big party, man. Yeah, brother, dig it. Stop right on. Hey, man, what's your name?
Mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, there's far too many of you dying. We've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Hey, Father, we don't need to escalate. You see, war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. We've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Picket lines and picket signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Oh, what's going on? Right on. Hey man, what's your name? Right on. Right on. Everybody thinks we're wrong. Oh, but who do they judge us? Simply because our hair is long. Oh, we've got to bring some understanding here today. Pick it loud and pick it sound. Don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me so you can see what's going on. Yeah, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on. Right on. Right on.
Breaking Ground Radio, it's your man DJ Swamp Thing with Tiffany L. We are back at it, our special Speak Your Truth edition of Breaking Ground Radio, and who could not have come at a better time. Our first guest, as I said before, our the pretty much executive director of Speak Your Truth seminar has just walked in, and we are going to introduce her and just get. If you guys remember, if you tuned in 2 weeks ago, we had her just as part of our Diva Nation month. That was a short month. Tiffany, I really want to do that again, just on account of we didn't get to finish it. We didn't really get to finish it.
I agree.
Kind of sidebar, but so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the executive director of Speak Your Truth, the woman who has put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this event. I tell her pretty much every day what an amazing job she has done and she is continuing to do. I have nothing but respect for the grind that it took to put this together, and definitely respect for her having someone like me as a part of it as well and DJing the first two events. Meek Perry, what's good?
Hello.
How are you, Mom?
I am glad to be here.
Good. Are you tired? You should say yes.
I probably will sleep. No shit. Probably like 3 days.
Right.
After this is all said and done. But right now I'm just riding high. So I don't really feel it. It's adrenaline. But at any rate, real quick. Yeah. I appreciate you. I'll say that on air. Publicly, let me say that I appreciate Swamp Thing because often I'm in his inbox like, yo.
Venting.
Let me tell you about the craziness that is going on around the event.
Yes, I have heard some stuff.
Oh my goodness. But I think that God is just seeing how I'm going to handle it because there's more to come. So it's all good. How y'all feeling? How's everybody doing? Tiff? Hey, lady.
Hey, girl.
In that bright orange tank top against that pretty melanated skin.
Thank you. I'm good. I mean, minus the normal of Columbus. So pretty good. Pretty happy.
Yeah.
So we've been, Meek, just to fill you in right before you got here, we just pretty much talked to everybody about what the show is overall about. Obviously, we're definitely putting a lot of focus into, the Speak Your Truth that's coming up next weekend, and the guests both in-house and on the phone that we're going to have. And then we also, let everybody know that kind of the overall theme of today, and just really just continuing to talk about what's going on in our backyard with President 45, which we have been accustomed to calling him now in the last 48 hours, I think. Maybe even longer than that.
Maybe you just.
But I'm saying for me, yes, I'm definitely. No, he was.
You don't even got a name, y'all.
I just didn't.
We're just gonna address with the number. We're mad that he's even there.
Yeah. I was just dope when I heard that. I was like, that's perfect. I'm using it from here on out as long as he's in the presidency and thereafter. But yeah, so we're talking about him versus everybody, the NFL,
and everybody is pretty much it because. Like his own party is like, and not to say that we're Superman surprised, but normally you kind of think that, in front of people, it's just like that whole thing, like with your family, like in front of people, you're supposed to act like you got it together, whether it's together or not.
Listen, he has zero.
They have it together.
Right. I can cuss, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He has zero fucks. He has zero fucks to give.
Yeah.
He has no fucks to give because he put himself in a position to play both sides of the field, and that's what he's doing. There's been a great deal of distraction created since this man has been in office. It's like a circus. It's truly entertainment, much like the reality shows that people are obsessed with these days. And that even lends more to the idea within my spirit that it's all fuckery. So why am I even focused on you? I know that this man is in here wreck and shop, and we're going to see and feel and reap the consequences from all of that.
Definitely will.
That trickle down effect is for real right now.
Yeah.
But that's all the more reason why we need to be focused on building in our own communities and being able to become self-sustainable. Because if worst case scenario, absolutely the world that we know it becomes not it anymore. Yeah. And all our freedoms are taken away from us. And we're living within a true police state, and it is martial law, and there is a curfew, and you know, we are being rationed food, and you know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot that could happen at the hand of what has already been being built, it seems to me, for years prior to him being in office. There's thing, and this is my disclaimer. I don't follow politics at all.
And I think,
I think what you're finding is that a lot of people who normally don't are being made to. You basically are forced to read up, to watch. I find my TV on
at this
CNN
point, you don't have a choice
every morning with my kids around because they're interested about the state of our country, what's going on, where we once could brag quite easily, despite, of course, the slavery that was already here and the Jim Crow laws that we've already been through and all of that stuff. You still felt as though, or I maybe wrongfully I did, that we could brag a little bit, that you can hold your head up high, like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't as bad as it used to be, and we still working on things. But what are we working on? We're talking about unarmed people being shot. We losing our minds over statues instead of actual people, and I think that says it all right there.
Yeah, I out of all the speeches and the different opinions from everybody, there are two that I specifically want to make sure that I play today. One I already played, and I think if we have time, I'll play it again because it was so right on. Mr. Hansen from Unplugged. I'm not sure what the specifics of his show is. He's an older white guy, military veteran. And he pretty much summed it up by just saying, Trump is making this America not the America that we all know it to be. It is definitely. What America is it that we know it to be, though? Because all the things that we see visible today outside of that man being in office have been happening for decades upon decades upon decades. We don't need technology, the leader of the free world to be the advocate. First in line to all of that. That's what we don't need. I mean, I understand that. I mean, when Bush was in office, this was the same kind of thing that we were speaking on. Trump just has no filter. He just does not give a fuck. So he'll say and act any kind of way that he wants to. And the fact that he tweets, what? I can't even wrap my head around the fact that he spends as much time on Twitter as he does. Yeah. But
or the golf course.
Yeah. Already about 3 times more than Barack Obama.
Right, even though he made a big deal about that. But that's neither here nor there. It is absolutely that we're being led by a fool. And it's one of those things where if a lot of his party is confused or upset or not happy, and our party or the Democrats or wherever you want to put yourself is obviously not happy and the people aren't happy, why is it that we're still talking about him? I don't know what the process is of actually getting him booted, but I don't know why we haven't completed said process. I feel like he's given us more than enough examples as to why he's not fit for this position.
There's a shitload of people out here that support what he's doing.
Yeah, that's true.
Even the fact that I'm certain that he has tons of supporters, are they the ones that are making the rules and that are doing enough in Congress that can write the paperwork to get him out? Because I don't think that that's necessarily the case. Mm-hmm. I think that he has a strong base. I think he's got some key players in the White House or with him or whatever. But I think there's a lot of people in there that are we're all going down and we'd rather not. And then they're still doing the investigations on the whole Russian thing. But they seem to have already decided that, yes, that we know that there was some collusion, but we still seem to be fine with the results and standing by those. And I find that I don't know. I'm literally still.
Yeah.
I think what Meek was trying to say, though, when it comes to, the transparency of this presidency is that while Bush will say something sweet in our ears and, write some crazy legislation and even, Bill Clinton and all of the ones former, Donald Trump is being 1000%. Like I told y'all from the very beginning that I didn't like people of color. I didn't like immigrants. I was going to get rid of DACA. We were going to build a wall. We were going to do all these things. And I don't know why y'all don't believe me when I keep telling y'all was truth. And now we're all like, no, not really. The same guy who said grab him by the pussy. Like, yeah, the same guy. Like,
right.
What are we in? We're not even, clearly we're not a year. What are we in? Like 10 months in?
Yeah. About that. So before you get in me, I don't want you to get into your thought and then we have to cut you off. So we're going to go on a quick break. I believe we got our first caller from
Denver, Colorado.
It's
Bree Wade.
What's the remind me of the name?
Her name is Bree Wade.
Bree Wade. Okay, so we're going to get into a song break. I'm going to try to squeeze in one of my favorite features by a young lady named Ty Carolina. I think she might actually be she's still in the military, but she made some great points too about all of this stuff. And then hopefully by that time we'll have Bree on the phone. And we'll chat with her about her upcoming experience for next weekend. And then by that time and a little later on in the show, we should have one of two of our in-house artists that are involved with that as well. So don't go nowhere. Breaking Ground Radio. We'll be back. Yeah.
Yes, peace.
Say it one more time.
Hi, can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Okay, perfect.
I cannot understand why we treat each other in this way. Taking up time with the silly games we play. We've got our love, and no matter how it's said or done.
Breaking Ground Radio, WTMH. It's your man DJ Swamp Thing. We are back at it here with Meek Perry, the executive director of Speak Your Truth, and we are also again just talking about just the current events that are happening with President 45. We also have one of two in-house artists that we're going to be introducing here shortly. Meek Perry, would you do the honors, please, of introducing our first phone guest?
Oh my word, this is the first time me and her have spoke on the phone, period. Yes. So please welcome Miss Bree Wade out of Denver, Colorado, coming to clown out with us next weekend. Hey sis, how you doing?
Jackie, I'm trying to turn her up.
I am doing so well.
Keep talking to her.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly.
All right, cool. I am so excited to bring you. We have been talking to each other for like a year and a half now.
Oh, wow.
Has it been about that long, you think, Bree?
It has. It has. It's been a really long time. I remember when you first came to me, and she was like, hey, I would love to get you out here. And at that time, I was pretty shy.
I can't hear her.
I'm not ready.
Yeah.
And now this go around, I was like, yeah, the universe was, it definitely made the connection for us.
Yeah. I didn't give up on you. I was definitely pretty focused on making sure you got here, sis. Yeah. So I'm so glad that you're coming to the city, and I know you're from here, right?
I am. I'm actually from Mansfield, Ohio. That's my hometown.
Okay, Mansfield, stand up. Good.
All right. So I guess some of the biggest questions that we have for you are what does it mean for you to be a part of Speak the Truth? Why did you decide to sign on?
Yeah. Outside of Meek, the lovely Meek, who has brought me this, and I'm very appreciative. Thank you.
You're welcome, sis.
Being a part of this is bigger than what I'm imagining now as far as Speak Your Truth.
Right.
The title itself gives way for others to feel comfortable enough to speak exactly, how they feel about certain things. And I'm really big on emotions as far as expressing yourself and who you are as an individual. So the title alone is very captivating. Outside of the title, part of this event is monumental. I'm very spiritual, and the universe is actually just bringing, confirmation, saying this is going to be more explosive than you could ever imagine. And to be a part of it is monumental. It's almost like a historic thing.
Oh, wow.
That's great. That's awesome.
It is definitely turning into something more than I had originally anticipated. I can't even really wrap my head around how swiftly it all came together and the details of it and whatnot. So yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, we are all very, very excited. Now tell us, just to give us a little background about yourself, because as of yet we haven't met you or anything. I know we'll get a chance to do that next weekend. But first of all, just tell everybody what it is you specifically do, your art or craft, or gift, I should say, and then with that being said, how are you seeing what you're doing change some of the immediate environment around where you live, or with some of the people that you talk to?
Yeah, so one of the crafts that I do, I own a jewelry business, so I create handmade jewelry pieces.
Okay.
And those are actually designed specifically with positive affirmations and energy. The other part to that, the more motivating part would be my poetry. And prior to, so when I was about 18 or 19, I took a high interest in psychology. Mm-hmm. And I've always been into poetry ever since I was 13, but that stopped. And then I took interest in psychology around 18 or 19. Mm. And then moving forward in life, I decided to merge the two. So with my poetry, it's actually unique in a way, because what I'm doing is I'm studying other people and the trauma that causes their behavior. Mm. And in studying that, the poem is produced because I become the mirror for the person, and I give back to them the trauma. And then hopefully that plants seeds for them to heal that trauma that they've been going through. Mm-hmm. And my wordplay, I just do it in a way to where it's captivating and it holds the attention. But I feel like that ever since I started doing that, that's actually been causing a vibration through the community, and they've latched onto it. And I feel like a lot of people are healing internally. Even if they don't admit it, I feel like a lot of that trauma is being healed. Mm.
That's awesome. Well, we appreciate everything that you do. That's great work.
That is amazing. If I could connect the dots real quick, there's some dots I want to connect that
sure.
people might not know, but I don't know anything. Like I've never spoke to Bree on the phone before. This was all because of her poetry that I had seen on Facebook that made me want to reach out to her to begin with. So, and now you describing what it is that you do with your work and with your art, and me putting together this event, the entire time that I've been putting together this event, the only thing I could concretely say when people say, what is it about and why are you doing this? It was put together with the intent to bring folks together to start the healing process, mm-hmm. however that comes forth. Right. I've always believed that creativity is going to be the main way that we uplift the people, how you send a message. Us as brown folks, we receive information by way of music very easily. That's why the music has been manipulated the way it has, mm-hmm. to control the masses. At any rate, so for you to say that what you're doing with your poetry is with the intent to bring the trauma to the forefront, because a lot of people don't understand that it's generational trauma that we're dealing with. It might not be something that happened within our core family structure, but years of the kind of systematic racism that we're dealing with, and just straight degrading and demeaning behavior toward our people, that is being passed on to our children, to our children, to our children. So some of these traumas that we're dealing with as a people might not even be something that we've dealt with in our own life, but it's been passed on to us. That's why so many of us, I believe, are drawn to art and music and writing and visual art and photography and fashion design and entrepreneurial spirit, because it's healing us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Yes.
The link up. That's all.
The link up.
That's God. That's all.
So Bree, to let everybody know, let all of our followers know. First of all, thank you for calling. We definitely appreciate you. Can't wait to meet you next weekend. Let everyone know how you can be followed, how you can be reached, social media, all of that good stuff.
I'm not. So my biggest platform is Facebook.
Okay.
And I go by Bree Wade under Facebook. I'm not that great with the other platforms.
Okay.
I'm learning to be great with them. I have Instagram though, and that one is Empress _B Wade.
Gotcha.
But my main one is just Facebook. If anybody wants to follow me on that.
Okay. Well, again, we appreciate you. Hats off, respect, claps, applause, all the good stuff. Mm-hmm. We look forward to seeing you and witness your talents next weekend. And yes. And safe travels getting here, and you have a blessed evening, okay?
Thank you so much for having me.
No
Thank you so much.
problem.
Positive energy.
Thank you.
Ma'am. Peace.
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 There we have it. Our first of 3 phones. Bree. I shoot. Dope. Definitely.
Wait till y'all hear the poetry. Look her up. She's on Facebook, man. I mean, it's amazing. And another thing that's really goes in line with the theme behind Spit and Sketch as a whole, as a company, giving those underground artists opportunity to get on stage. She's never rocked live. She just has a really strong online following.
Gotcha.
Oh, wow.
So this will be her first time performing poetry live.
Kidding?
Yep.
That's great.
That's amazing.
That's great. Well, you hear the phone lines blowing up. We're gonna get that. See who's up next. In the meantime, we're gonna rock with our next song. So we'll be right back. Shout out to Cassius Keys, man. Bro Crayons. Let's go.
Yes. Okay, that should be Knowledge.
Yes.
Okay, so what can we make it louder?
I made it loud. I did make it louder. I'm trying to make it even.
Life seem like it's falling apart. Follow dollar signs or follow your heart. Claim the ladder, I ain't buying it. Whenever catch me pushing a car to swiping a car. Paper or plastic in my arms. Cause when tough times start to come round, you are nowhere to be found. Giving up before giving a try. We all know why. When your past failures turn every dream to a nightmare. Every truth in the A there. Success in the A fair. Like if I make it, what will I do when I get there? Don't worry about when you got it before you get it. If you don't aim at the mold, how you gonna hit it? So keep your head up. Say that to all my praying sinners. And always remember, even at the end, it's still like the end. Won't stop till ain't no breath I can breathe in. No matter how little I got, I'ma make do. Cause one thing remain true. Broke crayons still color. Broke crayons. Broke crayons still color. Broke crayons. Broke crayons still color. Build on that. Life go, put a bill on that. 10 year, put a mill on that. 5 year, 100K on that. Half the greatness, plant your feet on that. Grow a couple money trees on that. Leaves fall, we gon' rake all that. And pray that they all grow back. Plight of regret. Never know if you fail, if you never take a step. Take a dip. If your road never know how big the iceberg is. Float or drown, sink or swim. Never know unless you dive in. More of the story, gotta go and get it. Nobody gon' get it for me. And at the end, it's like the end. Won't stop till ain't no breath I can breathe in. No matter how little I got, I'ma make do. Cause one thing remain true. Broke crayons still color. Broke crayons. Broke crayons still color. Broke crayons. Broke crayons still color. So here the picture, peep that outline. A young black boy in white chalk. In the headline, officers fired 16 shots. Most after he hit the ground. And all we hear, self-defense, stand your ground. Meanwhile, all my dogs ending up in the pound. Meanwhile, equal rights somewhere lost and found. Alone in this world, only gravity hold us down. Only gravity hold us down and now. Trying to be up in the winning circle, bringing green bags home. Splinter, Ninja Turtle, but instead they lane clear while we jumping hurdles. But a tougher battle make a stronger soldier. Is that why when they see us, they quick and empty they holster? It's food for thought, man. It ain't all kosher, but I guess it depends if you see the bigger picture. Urge you to adjust your vision and always remember, even at the end, it's like the end. Won't stop till ain't no breath I can breathe in. No matter how little I got, I'ma make do. Cause one thing remain true. Broke crayons still color. Broke crayons. Broke crayons still color. Broke crayons. Broke crayons still color.
Famous, I blame you. Famous, I blame you. Famous, I blame you. Look at all the people that done changed up. Look at all the pain that I've been through. Gotta get up and pick up the pieces. Mad at myself picking up these pieces. Thinking about all of this time that I wasted trying to be you. Famous, I blame you. I was told if I didn't push work and pop guns in my raps that I wouldn't go far. Wouldn't get money, wouldn't get that honey, wouldn't get that rep, wouldn't get that car. I was stuck in it for a minute. I wonder what could I do if I put my true self in the bars. Had to make changes. My heart pours and every letter my pen illustrates. All I plot for your front spot on my dinner plate. Mine go when the line flow mean and pull heartstring and crush egos in one rhyme scheme. Hard to be what I'm called to be. Industry make it artistically hard to breathe. I feel like I can't 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 breathe. I feel like I can't. My soul not for sale, so don't place your bets because I'm chasing purpose, never chasing checks. Wanna be influential, never part of the issue, so protect your neck for they hits will get you like. There was a time I would do anything as long as I became you. People looking in my eyes like, Joe, this ain't the same you. So many people lose their self trying to claim you. Wanna shoot for the stars, but forgot how to aim through. Famous, I blame you. Famous, I blame you. Famous, I blame you. Famous, I blame you. Look at all the people that done changed up. Look at all the pain that I've been through. Gotta get up and pick up the pieces. Mad at myself picking up these pieces. Thinking about all of this time that I wasted trying to be you. Famous, I blame you. I was told if I didn't expose and downgrade a queen that I wouldn't go far. Wouldn't get money, wouldn't get that honey, wouldn't get that rep, wouldn't get that car. I was never with it from the beginning. Funny how I choose to respect them more than they listen less. Gotta get it off my chest. We need all women. Look at all the lies that they feed our women. Look at how the media want us to see our women. It's like the world wants us to defeat our women. Look at how the industry treats our women. Look at how the energy shifts our women. So I check myself because it starts with us. We gotta protect and uplift our women. They can't breathe. I feel like 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 they. Keep your head up, queen, you don't have to do what they want you to do, be who you want to be, and you are enough, so salute to you, because without you, it wouldn't be in me. I'm saying, we either don't see the problem or don't want to solve it. I don't really know what's worse, or the fact that a man's still stuck in his ways, they're probably gonna skip this verse. I don't see the world the way they used to see, so I speak the vision you don't usually see, coming to you from me. Lyrically self, all heart, food for thought, gluten-free, blame famous. Famous, I blame you. Famous, I blame you. Famous, I blame you. Look at all the people that done changed up. Look at all the pain that I've been through. Gotta get up and pick up the pieces. Mad at myself picking up these pieces. Thinking about all of this time that I wasted trying to be you. Famous, I blame you. Famous, I blame you. Famous, I blame you. Look at all the people that done changed up. Look at all the pain that I've been through. Gotta get up and pick up the pieces. Mad at myself picking up these pieces. Thinking about all of this time that I wasted trying to be you. Famous, I blame you.
Breaking Ground Radio. We are back. It's your man DJ Swamp Thing with Tiffany L and the Meek Perry, all in the building. So we are currently a little behind on the callers. I think we might have actually missed one, but that's all right. If he calls back, he does, or she does. If not, unfortunately, we'll have to keep this thing rolling. And Tiffany, we were in the midst of talking about our great president and some of the wars that he's currently having. Did we speak on North Korea at all yet?
No, not really. I mean, basically, the issue with North Korea is he is having it out with the president. They're basically in what I would say is like a pissing match of who is the biggest man, who can decide the most bold moves for their country, despite the fact that it will affect, millions of other people besides themselves. Basically, North Korea has been threatening for years to, produce a bomb, and one that would affect us, hit us, basically, because of, our ties to, we're allies with South Korea, and, they've been in a long-standing battle between countries about over money and everything else, taxes, and
how did this even start? Because as far as I knew, we were okay with North Korea. We didn't have there was no beef. There was no threatening.
There would not have been a beef had Hillary Clinton been in the office, because she is very diplomatic, and while she can hear the differences and the things that we both want to accomplish as separate entities and separate countries, she speaks with intelligence. She speaks with respect, and that's not something that we're seeing from 45. And when you meet somebody or you encounter someone who doesn't have any respect for anything that you have to say, and we're talking about, I don't know, two what seems like two very childish men, because on the side of the North Korea, I can completely understand him being upset, but it's sad that we're being held to the standard of the 45 as a country as a whole, and that our country as a whole is being threatened as he continues to amp up stuff. Because it's almost like Trump is like, you ain't gonna do nothing, you ain't gonna do nothing, you ain't gonna do nothing, you ain't gonna do nothing. And like, he's like, I'm testing missiles. Like, right. I'm just trying to find one that can get to you.
I'm almost wondering, and this is just me, maybe it's ignorant to say, but I'm always wondering, I'm wondering if he even realizes the people that will be killed in his own country if he throws off one of those bullets, if throws off one of those missiles. He's not aiming the missile directly at you. 45. It's not a punch in the mouth to you. It's a punch in the mouth to God knows how many people if it lands in DC or anywhere up there. This is you are putting millions of lives at risk by saying what you're saying. You're like that stepfather who doesn't care about his stepkids. So you'll say whatever. Well, regardless of the fact if he does it or not,
I think with all the sanctions
you can't threaten other countries and call their bluff. You can't do that. That is not that. First of all, that's not what we do as a country.
And I think. And I think the only reason that North Korea has stepped up is because Donald Trump is so disrespectful. Mm-hmm. Like, he's not saying, here's where we disagree on politics. Here is where we won't help you. Here's where our allies are with South Korea. So therefore we can only do this, that, and the third. He's not speaking from a place of intelligence. He's not, it's not like he ever researches any hard facts. I mean, he just speaks off the cuff, and he didn't like what Kim Jong-il had to say. And I don't know. I saw like sparring matches, and they're literally like going back. The president of North Korea called him like a doggard or dog. It's this old saying for somebody who's like senile and old that should be retired.
Well, he called him a rocket man.
Yeah, I mean, they're going back and forth with these insults, and as if this isn't going to play out for real people and real lives and things like that. I don't know how it originally started, between our countries, but I know that if they test this bomb as they're continuing to talk about, like,
real work, is there anything Trump? Being accomplished at all?
No.
Well, they did go to the UN. They had a big,
sneaking in bills.
They had a big meeting at the UN, the United Nations, and basically, Trump had been on China's case to get on North Korea's case, because I think that they are somehow allies, or not really allies, but they do business with them. And so therefore he was like, if you guys don't tighten up your sanctions, we're going to have some beef with you. And I think so finally China got on board, and some other countries got on board with the hope that they can stop North Korea, or at least for right now, while they can get, but that's if they can get Trump to be quiet long enough to like let a problem get solved or have some airtime or breathe. I don't even know. But basically, it says here on CNN, if he follows through, it would be the first nuclear weapon detonated in the atmosphere in decades, and the threats will be extremely volatile to the land. That you got to talk about the radioactive, situation after that. That lasts for several years after. Mm-hmm. and they just continue are working on. It says that they have had 6 nuclear tests, and they've had some successful missile tests. I don't know. Like wow. It's quite a serious situation, and
it is, and I think,
and it's almost like it's being overshadowed by this situation with the NFL and his little fights with everybody on Twitter. Like, and it shouldn't be any more of a real serious situation. And I think that is why all of those people who are hanging on with respect for Trump, like, oh, well, he's good at this, or maybe he's good at this, or he's good at business. Like, how many failed businesses can you have before somebody decides that you're not really that good at business?
Right.
Mitt Romney said it best. There's a clip of Mitt Romney that I have a video of that he goes through all of Trump's failed businesses, and he was like, what would make you feel secure with somebody who's failed this many times? Now, that's not to say that, in real life, people don't, fail and then succeed. But do you want your president failing and then succeeding with your life? And when we're talking about bombs and missiles and, whether our country gets aid or doesn't.
I think back to what, people were talking about before he got elected, and how so many people were actually supporting him and why they were supporting him. And the biggest thing that always came up was the fact that they thought that he would shake things up, and stir the pot a little bit, which I'm not necessarily against. Like, if they were to say the same thing about Obama, I would have been cool. Yeah, let's shake some things up. There's a lot of things that need change. But I don't think that this is what they meant. And although he still has a lot of the same supporters, I think in the back of their mind, if they're any type of decent people, this is not what they meant. We didn't mean starting wars. We didn't mean messing with the greatest game ever in the United States. We didn't, those kind of things. We didn't mean calling them SOBs. This is, like you said, he tries to put his business, the way that he talks in business, you cannot do as a president. If you want to call people SOBs because you run a multi-million-dollar business, that's fine. Maybe everybody might not like it, but you're the CEO, so whatever. If I was the CEO and I wanted to call somebody SOB, I'd probably do it and not give 2 rats' ass myself. But as the president of all the free world, or all the free country, there are certain etiquette and ways of speaking. There was what is one of the videos you sent? I don't know if it was or not, where there was a gentleman who actually gave a response as a president should give a response. And he compared it to the way Trump responded. Mm-hmm. And it was like night and day.
Absolutely. And basically what they're saying, like, first of all, they're also saying that back in the day, 1966, I guess,
y'all gonna get that bottle open.
China was also threatening us about missiles and retaliating against us, and they called our bluff, and they actually did let loose some.
When was this?
Where they were testing missiles and stuff. 1966. Oh. And the areas around where they do the testing and where it actually explodes depends on, what the weather is like, how far the effects carry. It affects, of course, all of the marine life around it. And all of the people are suddenly experiencing higher rates of cancer and thyroid disorders, birth defects and stuff because, of course, of all of the radioactive material that's floating around in their air. So it would be detrimental to wherever he can, as far as he can get this off, as close to us as possible. It's going to be detrimental.
Yeah.
So
I want to go ahead and play Ty, who is currently in the military. I'm not going to play it all. It's about 6 minutes. I'll try to play as much as I can to where I think she's gotten a point across.
Yeah, I agree.
And then if we don't get another call, we will intro our in-house who is here, and I think our other in-house who should be here by that time too. If not, we'll keep it rolling, and then we'll really get. Then we will have me, Perry, just once again make any last announcements that you need to regarding Speak the Truth as it pertains to next weekend and all that good stuff. And then we'll continue our discussion throughout until it's time.
Well,
so,
real quick, before you play
ahead.
it, I think we need to set it up.
Okay, go ahead.
You know what the video is truly protesting. So the video is in response to the many claims that the players that are taking a knee during the national anthem are being disrespectful to the sacrifices that the people of the military
and she thinks
made.
not, right? She thinks not.
Absolutely.
She says not.
She thinks that they have bigger, because her point of view, as we're going to see we're going to hear in the video, is basically that the military, the purpose of being in the military and the reason why she and many others went into was to protect the rights of everybody. And
Right.
she even mentions to protect the rights of a Nazi, person to believe what he believes. Now, that of course does not, co-sign any behaviors that you act on. But basically, I believe that you deserve all the freedoms in the Constitution. So therefore, I'm going to go into the military to protect those, to serve you as people. And that's what they're focused on. They're not focused, and nor do they feel disrespected when people decide that they don't want to stand for an outdated song. And she wants that claim to stop being made, because people love to say that when really it's just a scapegoat for another reason that you can add as an example as to why Colin Kaepernick is this thug or this SOB, and all of the NFL players alike who choose to kneel in solidarity with him. So.
Right. Okay. So here we go.
This show one morning out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Listen to this.
I'm sure I'm going to receive a lot of hate mail in the morning, but I really need you to stop pretending. For those that keep posting, it's disrespectful to the military to kneel during the national anthem in front of the American flag. I need you to stop pretending that that's your reason, because you actually don't care. You really don't care. You just don't care. So I get people saying that you're disrespecting the military, but where were you when these soldiers come back with PTSD? Where were you doing homecoming ceremonies? Where were you when people get the knock on the door that their loved one is no longer coming home? So stop saying that this is disrespecting the military, because you've been pretending for years that nothing has been happening in this country and overseas. So we can just stop pretending that you actually care that it's disrespecting the military. It's because it's not something you're used to. It's because you're not comfortable with the idea that social injustice has been happening in front of your face for years. So stop pretending. I in the military, other in the military, are not worried about anybody else kneeling for the flag. I can assure you that we have fought for many more freedoms, for you to have the freedom of speech, for you to be able to say and speak your mind. That is the entire reason that we serve, because we want you to have the life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, because it's a freedom. Oh my gosh, the profound statement of the Constitution of the United States. We all said it. So stop pretending that, oh, you're disrespecting the military because you're kneeling during the national anthem and because it's not what you're comfortable with. You're only comfortable because it's not your child being shot. You're only comfortable because when you walk in a store, no one follows you. Worry about what I worry about every day. You don't have to worry about that your child or your father or that your son or your husband is going to come home. You don't have to worry about being profiled at a restaurant that I was just profiled at going to Atlanta. You don't have these worries. So what I'm going to tell you is you can stop pretending that kneeling during the national anthem and in front of the flag is disrespectful, because I don't remember any of you being there. I don't remember you standing when the body comes off the plane at the freaking airport. I don't remember you being there when the soldier wakes up in the middle of the night because he's crying from having PTSD. You're not there. That's disrespectful. How about you join the 1-800 crisis line for the 22 people that kill themselves in the military from suicide? How about you make more of an effort to be a part of this nation instead of writing all over Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you don't, sending emails to your little friends? Because right now, it's starting to upset me. And the reason it's starting to upset me is because you're putting me in a class of people that doesn't even exist.
All right, so we're going to roll with that. We're gonna cut it right there. Like I said, it's a little lengthy. I don't even think that was halfway through, but I think you got the point. She was definitely in tune with what she. I mean, and I'm not mad at her one bit. I mean, this is an active military person right here. This is someone who is currently serving for our country, and she basically says that it's not offensive to her. and I've heard other people currently in the military say the same thing. Them kneeling, they don't feel like that's disrespectful to the flag. They don't feel like it's disrespectful to the military.
It's been turned into something that it's not.
Exactly. Well, he lost the whole vision of what Colin Kaepernick did it for last year to begin with.
Which is just another way that, anytime there's any protest or there's any progress or forward movement with our people, they turn it into something that it's not. That brother was just feeling what he was feeling, and he wasn't being disrespectful to anything to do with the country or the game that he's now not playing. It has everything to do with the fact that he wanted to stand up for the injustices that are going on in this country to deal with men that look like him.
Brutality.
Yes, exactly. Which is something that is very much real. Right. It's not like it's not happening. So, I mean, you want us to be quiet. You want us to sit down. You don't want us to say nothing about it. You want us to take it, turn around, take it up the ass. You just want it. You just want it. I'm just like, man, I'm tired. Ain't y'all tired? I'm saying, leave that man alone. Let him play the game because he loves the game. He never not once said he didn't want to play. He's just saying, I'm not gonna, let me say something. I'm in a position to be heard. And look what this spawned, though. So a movement within a movement within a movement.
And here's what I think. I think that while Trump thought he was going to throw his little hissy fit and everybody was going to play into what he wanted, which was, oh gosh, he's upset, he's troubled, like, let's not do this, like, because heaven forbid 45 should be upset with you. I think he's brought more attention to the movement than he really realized he was doing, because all of these players, while Colin has been kneeling for a year, these players were not kneeling with him. They were talking to him like, dang, man, I don't know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Your career, you about to lose all this money. I don't know. Well, 45 jumped in it after, I would say, LeBron and Steph Curry made their own separate movements. I think that it moved Trump to be so upset by it, like that there's so much control. Like, who are these black men that we gave a couple $1 million to, thinking that they can make decisions and sway the world? If I want them to stand at that national anthem, they're gonna stand. And I think
it's definitely an ego thing.
I think it absolutely backfired on him.
It's definitely an ego thing.
And I think that's why so many, because people could see how childish and ridiculous and immature he was being. When we're talking about, we have states that are in absolute turmoil and disarray. And
Flint's water is still dirty.
And Flint's
water. Yeah, I mean, water. Come on now.
When we're talking about we're fighting with North Korea, I think everybody put in perspective that this man is not helping anyone. He is creating and stirring up in a bad way, not in a good, let's get some discussion going. Let's, sit the David Banners down with the KKK people and see if we can find some middle ground. This isn't that. This is absolutely a man throwing a temper tantrum. Didn't get his way, but unfortunately, because everybody saw the temper tantrum and saw it live, talking about SOBs and they should be fired just because they decide not to stand for a stupid song that's outdated and should have been revised anyway. Right. Like, I think that he just didn't realize how powerful his no message was.
Right.
I think there's definitely some intent behind his maneuvers. I mean, he has a country divided, and he came in the gate saying that that's what he was intended to do, was to divide the country. So while we're out here hating each other, this man is just capitalizing on that. So he didn't pimp us, pimp the system. If you look at old information, old tracks, YouTube, whatever, whatnot, Trump was a Democrat when he was younger.
And isn't that, and not that, and actually not even just when he was younger, not that long ago, he has videos of him stating how he would never, like, how he does not agree with Republicans, how they don't understand real life, how they are basically fools. And that's the ticket that he got to sign him on for him. So he was like, all right, we'll
play this. Yeah. So he's a businessman. He's not a politician, and he plays the country.
At all. And I've talked to people about that before, like, who who were basically like, this is a game to him. Like,
we're being played.
He is absolutely waiting. I don't know. In my thoughts, if you think about it, what he's done since he's been here, he's created a lot of division, like we're talking about, chaos and fear, and against people who have been here, minding their business, living life, whatever. But in addition to that, go ahead, Boo. Go.
No. I was trying to tell her to hold it. I need to tell her to hold it because we gotta.
No, we don't want to break.
No, we're not breaking.
We don't want to break.
We're not breaking. We're not breaking.
Get to the meat. We're trying to get this out because we are sitting there trying to figure out, like, you know what I'm saying? This man is not really.
No, we all understand that.
I kind of think that he's waiting to let destruction happen so that he can help rebuild it. Do you know what I mean? And
he's not going to help rebuild shit. He's going to capitalize on the destruction. But that's the whole point.
But I don't mean rebuild it in the lovely, like we're all like friends
utopia type shit.
I mean in the literal, like, oh, we destroyed your whole country, I'm so sorry about that. I'll help you rebuild it with a healthy price tag of blah blah blah. And guess who benefits? Trump, Incorporated, or however, whatever.
Straight devil.
And then guess what? Even if we don't vote him in, he's got all of these brand new business
resources, that he's created
exactly
off of our down. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I feel like that's all he really wanted to get in there and do. Sorry,
I'm trying not to do it, but you forced me. You forced me to press. You forced my hand. I'm trying to be over there, be patient.
He rang the bell.
I understand the
I think I got my sentence out before he.
I get it.
Bell, so therefore, I'm not gonna count that thing.
Oh my goodness.
So that's we'll come back if we have time. But until then,
we'll have time.
Tiffany, go ahead and introduce our in-house artists who are involved next weekend with Speak the Truth, please. And so that we can give them an opportunity to speak for one, and then two, give Meek Perry the opportunity to say any last thoughts about it, on whether it's, if there's tickets still available, all that good stuff. And then we can go back to what we're talking about.
Thank you. Thank you, DK. Okay, so
I love this.
So basically, wait, swing that over and let him share that with you. Okay, so in the building we have some of our favorites. We got Cassius Keys and iSoja in the building. They are two of our favorite local artists that are repping for Speak Your Truth Summit, which is October 5th, 6th, and 7th, with dope people coming from in and out of town. So we're excited about that. And so we want to hear what their thoughts are on being invited to such, I don't know, I believe Bree Wade used the word historical event. I love that word historical because monumental absolutely is another good word, because I don't know. And in no way, shape, or form am I trying to say that I've been to every Columbus event. I've been to a lot, and I've heard about many more. Sorry about that. That's my Game of Thrones ringtone, because Game of Thrones is life. But I have never seen an event like this one, and I'm excited about it. Because it doesn't just showcase art. Like that's wonderful that we do that. And I'm glad that we have so many places and avenues for our local artists to do that. But that's not just the point. The point is to have real discussions led by people who are in the entertainment industry and other industries, where they can actually touch on what they're seeing, and it gives you a different perspective. So I'm excited about that. So Cassius Keys, iSoja, welcome again. Why are you in this event? Why did you say yes when she called? What does Speak the Truth mean to you, sir?
Why did I say yes?
Yes, why did you say yes?
Well, first of all, hell of an opportunity.
Damn right it is.
I mean, goddamn. All jokes aside, though, you know what I'm saying? Speaking to your point, it was one of those things where it was bigger than art. It was bigger than music. There was a message behind the actual event. Speak Your Truth. And then that part spoke to me specifically because just with my music, you know what I'm saying? I like to do things out of the norm. I like to speak my truth, I guess, within my own sound. So it really touched me. And then, interestingly enough, I think that was the first open mic that I started doing, spitting sketch back when you was at the Barrel. So like, I don't know, Meek, since I started getting serious, which wasn't that long ago, but you know what I'm saying? So that's why I say yes. In terms of what it means to me, I think
your name right now is on fire.
I appreciate that.
With David Banner's name.
Oh.
In your hometown.
It's lit.
Doing the art that you love.
It's lit.
I'm just saying that's kind of a lot right there.
It is. It really is.
Because for someone to say that you were just taking your art professionally in the last year or so, would you say, to be here, it's kind of dope. It's kind of
to look back.
It's kind of a big deal.
The story is crazy.
It's kind of like hot shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't wait for the VH1. You know what I'm saying?
I like him. I'm writing his story already.
It's coming. It's coming. Stepping stones. But it's an opportunity to bring a lot of different mediums together. You know what I'm saying? Artists, poets, musicians, political activists. You know what I'm saying? Photographers, videographers. I mean, like it's a clusterfuck of
yumminess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would use that specific word.
I'm like,
that's not really in my.
Saying the words yumminess.
That's not in my Scrabble board. You know what I'm saying?
Or I Soldier for that matter. But I'm sure that he is down for the cause. I mean,
it's a vibe, yes. Nah, but honestly though, it's a blessing to be a part of something that's this much bigger than myself. You know what I'm saying? Like this much bigger than myself. And I'm blessed for the opportunity.
I'm excited about that. All right, I Soldier, same question. Why are you so happy or blessed to be a part of this event? What does Speak the Truth mean to you?
Well, it's an opportunity for me to speak my truth, but also learn. I'm a sponge. I like to get in settings where I can observe and take something home with me type thing. So the opportunity to not only speak my truth on a stage that I've visited the stage before, but not for this big of a reason, be involved and observe a lecture from somebody I respect a lot, and then be able to, team up with me, Keys. It's just a respect thing. It's just a big room of love and respect, black love, and everybody getting real, like the filters is off type thing. And now that's what I'm all about. I don't have any of those.
I'm very much looking forward to how in the nitty gritty the conversation is going to delve into. Like, I really am looking forward to that, because I feel like you spend a lot of time talking about the surface of, this isn't good. What can we do about it? Yep. Everybody has a role, play your part, but no real, I don't think anybody really has any real direction of what is my actual assignment. Is my job to watch the door? Or is my job to write my congressman? Is my job to, create a bill? What is my job? And I think so many people are like, I want to say something. I want to do something. I don't necessarily want to march because, marching we get there and then they're still don't give a shit what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have the video in their face, like, see them, you see you did it. And they're like, no, I don't think you did it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So what is this going to change? And I'm looking forward to hearing some good conversations.
Yeah, I think it's
especially from David Banner.
Right. And I can't wait to shake his hand. My whole thing is being put in a position to speak my truth with somebody like that. On the same stage or however we're going to do it, it means a lot to me, because I'm in, we in the little music scene where lyrical people or people who want to speak truth and be emotional kind of get ignored. This is a whole joint of, it's all about this, like,
right.
It's not being ignored at all.
If you get emotional, you can still say what you want to say.
Hey, I'm a whole big ball of emotion.
And I think that's understandable.
On top of that,
kept it all the way funky.
On top of that, I like to, when the entertaining part, being able to perform, I know people appreciate the vibes. We about to tear that shit down. Like,
I'm so excited. And to speak a little bit more on, I think what's so amazing about the fact that David Banner himself is coming is because last year or the year prior, as Donald Trump was campaigning, I think that, and I don't know if anybody else saw some of these videos where David Banner, or like he would say something on Twitter that was very misunderstood, and it is almost appeared that he was the Stacey Dash, and he was confused about what the current situation was, because he was almost saying, he was happy that Donald Trump was the president. And I don't think that's how he said it, but it was very much what I got from it was, and I was like, what? Why would he think, we hate him? Let's go hard and pain against
It's
Donald
about
Trump.
the whole wake up call.
And I think
and
that's
how
what's
hard,
important.
how we do kind of learn the hard way, and we do find ways to turn on each other and this, that, and the third. And I was like, now let's turn our attention to something this bold in your face. Yes,
and
he's trying to hurt you.
And I think that was the point, and I think that point was lost, and I think that part got the media attention that it should have, because basically what he was trying to say was, instead of us being confused and thinking that we have representatives who represent us, let's have somebody who doesn't represent us at all, and let's see what Black people are going to do. We know that we're not happy with what we have. We know that we're being mistreated. We know that we're being killed. We know that we're being wrongly, thrown into jail, and our families are being broken. But what are we going to do about it?
So,
are we going to continue to manifest the same excuses that we have been? There's nothing we can do because our president is such and such, our representative is such and such. We always put that blame on that next person. But did you go vote?
Listen. You brought it all the way full circle. And I was silent while we were talking about Trump because I don't follow politics. But what I see going around me, I'm not a slow individual. You know what I mean? And you brought it all the way full circle, Tiff, with what you just said. Obama being put in office made Black folks lazy.
Yeah.
We felt like we got somewhere. And this is just my opinion. And I always said, you ain't got to agree with me. But what I see is that the 8 years that man was in office, there was a sense of euphoria in regards to how hard we were all working to rise, because we felt like as a race we had accomplished something because Obama was put in the office. Really, I feel like that was trickery, and it was intended to make us real lackadaisical, so that when this man came behind him, we had so much catch up that needed to happen that when the shit really hits the fan, and what we're dealing with is an economical revolution. It's not the kind of revolution that our elders dealt with the civil rights and things of that sort. That's not where we're at. Everything is about money, because it doesn't matter what color you are. If you ain't got no bread, you ain't got no bread. And it's just that simple. But now what's happening, and you hit it right on the nose, him being in office and being such a blatant racist and supporting white supremacy and the things that have kept us down as a race for 400 some odd plus years is being thrown in our face again, because it's the only tool they have.
Right.
Because everything else we have right here. Look where we're sitting right now. Look what we're doing right now. We are completely taking control of our own lives, and we're out here grinding. So the distraction is Trump, not for everybody.
Right.
This is our time to rise up. The reason they're using that tool of division race right now is because they know it's a sore point for us. But a lot of us are waking up to the point where we understand that we're magic, quite literally, and that we can do anything that we want. So that race card, fuck you. You can't tell me I'm not dope. That's where I'm at. And a lot of people are, young, old, and everybody in between. The elders have already known it. Excuse me, Keith. The elders have been known it. So Trump and everything that's going on right now, Trump ain't going to shoot no missiles over there. They ain't going to shoot no missiles back at us, because we are still a powerhouse country. And if shit was to fall down from our standpoint, the whole world is going to fall down around it. If he starts a world war, there's too much money matriculating, y'all. The dollar bill is getting ready to fall.
Right.
Cryptocurrency is what's going to take over next. They don't want us to know anything about that. They don't want us to know about how to become financially free with no ties attached.
Mm-hmm.
They want us focused on the fact that they're killing our black men in the streets. And I'm not saying that's not important, but I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on the fact that there's information out here you don't want me to know specifically because I am brown. So because of that, I'm going for that information.
Right.
One of those very teeny tiny things that they don't want us to know about is the fact that after they decriminalize marijuana, that now these white people are raking in the dough.
Yo, but why aren't we
on the same thing that
Stop.
we just got all put in
Okay,
prison
that's
over?
fine. Okay, so that's
Right.
fine. They used it against us. All right, so what? Because now the resources are in front of us.
Well, now I'm saying, I guess what my point in that saying that was now we need to go out and buy all that.
We
stuff.
need to we need to be as smart as they are being.
Absolutely.
If I'm a pothead. I'm a pothead.
I was like, where, Lord Jesus, where is this going? The radio show has gone and taken a different turn.
I don't think.
Wait a minute, did I just say that? But what I mean is,
Somewhere David Banner's like,
Listen,
what's going to happen?
there has now become a stream of income that is available to us, and we need to capitalize on that. Whether we are a grower or whether we own a dispensary, why are we not capitalizing on that? And then the money that's made, let's go get our babies out of jail. I mean, we just have to work the system. We have all the tools in front of us, but we're lazy.
Yeah,
we are lazy, and we feel like you owe me something.
And
you know what? Hold up. Let me put it out here right now. You don't owe me shit. I'm about to go get mine. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that?
Okay. I'm not gonna say they don't owe me shit because I do feel like they owe me shit. But whether or not I'm standing in line at the bank to get it because I don't think they're really gonna give it to me is a different case. And I absolutely believe that they owe a lot of us a lot of everything. Because imagine if you went to bed, baby girl, and tomorrow you woke up with all of the luxuries that your forefathers put down and laid down for you. Like, you know, like how like
I would
Trump
sleep.
Went to, you know how Trump
Let me get a hold of it.
Listen. You know how Trump went to bed and he woke up and he was a billionaire? Like, he didn't make $1 billion.
Right.
He loves to claim he made all this money. Baby, your daddy left you money. And where did that money come from? From some business that some brown people probably created for you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So don't sit up here and then knock the same people who are building the damn career for you. But how many brown people built them Trump Towers? And he's like, you know what? If you could also build yourself a wall and put yourself on the outside.
But why aren't we building? Why aren't we building though? That's what it's always going to come back to for me.
But this isn't just we're not building because we're not building. This is we tried to build. They shut down they took away the little grants. Okay, we tried to build with our own money, and they was like, you should have came with double that.
Hey, they bombed Black Wall Street. I understand they come after us, but we're a tenacious people, and we've gotten lazy in the past 8 years. And what's happening right now, people, if you notice it, if you really notice it, if you're tapped in even a little bit, you ain't even got to be all the way third eye open. If you're just tapped in a little bit, you will see that brown and black people are rising up. We have a very limited window of time. I give it 3 to 5 years. Just in my spirit, that's what I feel. I can't tell you why I feel that, but God's telling me you got 3 to 5 years. And now I'm going to say 2 to 4 because the year is damn near over.
Right.
So we have 3 to 5 years to position ourselves to shine. And there's going to be a very distinct divide when he leaves office. And if we haven't climbed, and if we haven't touched base and we haven't figured out why we're here, there's going to be some folks that are left behind because they're not taking the time to understand the environment. We are living. This is a living chess game.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to play chess,
you are 1,000% right about that. You're absolutely about knowing the next moves ahead of you.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Nothing but a big corporation. Like
it's a machine.
The entire US of A is nothing but a big corporation. And it's like we don't trade with each other enough. We're always in that competition, and that's the reason why that was built. If we learn how to trade amongst each other, then we won't need.
We're the only race that does not come together to build and become financially free. We're the only race that does not work together.
It's what is being publicized, is what our influences are. It taps into everything. Like you said, our biggest thing that makes us tick is the music, right? So the influence comes from that, starting from how old? Like super small, right?
Yep.
So you got people listening to certain music and following certain movements and looking at, it's all propaganda anyway. So it starts with parents too. So it's like, what are we telling our kids to accept? What are we teaching our kids through what we let them be entertained by? What are we doing?
That's that generational.
Yeah, because I'm not saying cut everything off. I'm saying replace something better with what you cut. Take this away and put something better. They already think whatever you're going to show them, you're right, because they're small. They're not going to say, I don't know about that at 4. Like, show them something. My little man. No, look, I school him bit by bit on certain things, so he won't be walking around looking just lost when something bad happened. But the influences, the music, and what he watches and stuff like that has nothing to do with the warped reality most kids are on. You see them almost 10 years old worrying about watches and shoes and what girl this, that, and the
right.
Boy, if you don't go read something, boy.
Please pick up a book, yo.
Look. So it's all about the influence and how they keep the youngins. I made a post the other day, like with hip hop and the music and the culture, it's always geared towards the teens, because when we hit that teenage, that's when we become the most ambitious and brightest, and we're growing into that thing. So the music, we pay attention. Like when you was a teenager, you listen to music. You were so deep into music as a teenager. So,
the music I was listening to definitely influenced me.
You see what I'm saying?
Because I listened to some of the music we were listening to.
What
like
a 14-year-old is listening to right this second.
Horrible.
What is in his playlist?
Mumble rap.
Not even that. They understand what it is.
Yeah.
Because it's their art form, but what is it telling you to accept? Like, and I say, like the boys. I mean, of course, a lot of our music is telling us to be tough, this, that, and the third. Even the rap I used to listen to.
You hear me say
when I was younger.
And some of it also inspiring us to be quite feminine.
Right.
Ooh.
But
and not
with a gun tucked in your tight pants, they're still trying to tell them to be tough regardless, even if you got to fling the wrist a little bit when you're doing it, but be tough. So it's a whole mix up of sexuality and
they're
gang
absolutely
relation.
confused about
gang
what sexuality.
Have that thug mentality towards your own. For real, I'm going to get mine. That look better than mine, so I'm gonna go take yours. What you gonna do? Type thing.
Absolutely.
And even if they try to make rap fun and they're trying to go get the girl, they're not really getting the girl. They're kind of like taking the girl, drugging the girl, passing the girl. Like they're not really getting the girl.
In addition to that, like just the increase of drama, the thirst for drama.
Yeah.
Like in just like, I mean, in real life, keep it all the way 1,000. I'm not saying that they're not funny to watch, but all the little challenges on Facebook right now. I mean, we got the I love the D and I love the P challenge or whatever, which again, they are fun.
Right.
Okay.
Until I seen
I have watched a few.
But until I seen the 15-year-old.
But it's nothing that you would ever see me share, because it's nothing that you would ever see me show pride at, even though it may be funny. Yeah. Because there's like, marked celebrities who are out here making those same challenges. And I'm sure in their mind, they only thought, this is funny. I'm just keeping up with the times. I'm staying relevant. Like Issa Rae and Regina Hall just made one of the whatever.
That's totally what I'm saying, funny, though. When it comes to the times.
Meek Fury, look at your face. Your face is shocked because you think these are women of, such high standard. And not to say that they're not, and not to take anything away.
So we all got a little ratchet in us. That's what you're telling me? All right.
It's definitely true, but it's being socialized.
Who makes
more.
these times?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's being
the teens.
It's being more popularized right now, and everybody is feeding into it rather than turning away and recognizing that these are not the values that we were raised on. These are not the morals that we support. They're still, it's funny.
You just gotta have a degree of separation.
If you play it
on
so
the
many
phone,
times, you'll get so many likes, and then everybody will share it, and then you'll get more followers, and your career will boost. And even if you just sell makeup,
again, all of it is it so that folks aren't focused on what they should be
absolutely
doing and their connection.
I absolutely agree. And
all of it is a distraction.
Because none of them are focused on getting insurance, life insurance, car insurance. You know what I'm saying?
Learning the system. Y'all better learn how the system works.
Living life. Like how to buy CDs and get stocks. Like none of it, nothing is ever focused. Like none of these challenges is like get your money right. Like,
it's only like a couple of.
It's only like silly stuff, and the silly stuff is what is funny,
that's
and that's what's shared, and that's what our children are continuing to see and focus on.
The teens only pay attention. We pay attention. They pay attention to underground first, which is just so important for us underground artists because we around them every day, all the time. And most of the time, when we used to listen to mainstream back when we used to be inspired by it, it was a lot of fun music, and it was always a separation. You could listen to Pimp C and Busta Rhymes and different people rapping about different things at the same time. But now everybody sounds the exact same because the team's really eating this up. So it's like us as underground, if we switch it and because they're basically mainstream is trying to sound like underground, just period. So since the underground changed into that and they started publicizing it more on mainstream because the teams is eating up underground because we get inspired and wanting to rap. We see the famous stuff, but we also got a big cousin out there getting it too.
Right.
So we look at all that at once. And I'm like, when I was 13, my cousin Richie was rapping, and Dwayne and all them, and then I looked at Busta Rhymes and all that. I found a medium in there. And every rapper can really say they seen somebody locally getting it and then had a famous dude they looked up to or whatever, and then tried to find that medium. Everything sounds the same. Nobody's saying this is better, this, that, and the third. Nobody's really focused on skill.
What happened to the storyteller? You're talking about Busta Rhymes.
So not to cut you off, but we going to a quick break. Damn that. We're going to a break. I don't give a fuck with nobody else. When we come back, me and Key's gonna talk and y'all gonna listen.
Well.
Oh, silly me, my day for thinking that you'd stay. Gave you my heart and then you ran away. Either I'm stupid, I'm foolish, or you're playing me. But it seems we were never really meant to be. So I thought I would try something new. I wanted to find out if I could live happy without you. And it turned out I wasn't living at all. But I would have never known if you had just played alone. I was living a dream, believing things that just ain't true. Oh, I can't believe I ever believed in you. You had me chasing fool's gold. I was chasing fool's gold. I was chasing fool's gold. Somewhere deep down inside I knew you wasn't right. But breaking your spell was a plan I never devised. I would have been here forever living for you. But I would have been living forever as your fool. I was living a dream, believing things that just ain't true. Oh, I can't believe I ever believed in you. You had me chasing fool's gold. I was chasing fool's gold. I was chasing fool's gold. I bit into the apple. I took the wooden nickel. Yeah, I was blinded to my core, and I went into the wrong door. And furthermore, I was living a dream, believing things. I was living a dream. Oh, I can't believe I can't be in you. I am believing you. I was chasing fools. I was chasing fools. I was chasing fools. I was living a dream, believing things that just ain't true. So I can't believe I ever believed in you. You had me chasing fools, go. I was chasing fools, go. I was chasing fools, go. I was living a dream, believing things that just ain't true. Oh, I can't believe I ever believed in you. You had me chasing fool's gold. I was chasing fool's gold. I was chasing fool's gold.
Breaking Ground Radio, it's man DJ Swamp Thing, man. We are back at it. Time now is just shy of 7:45, man. Definitely had a plethora of good conversation popping off, man, with everybody. Definitely appreciate everybody's thoughts and everything like that. So what we're gonna do right now is real quick, and I mean real quick, me go ahead and just run any last thoughts about, Speak the Truth and next week and all that good stuff, and what people can still get tickets, and if they can, where, all that good stuff.
You ain't gotta give me no disclaimers.
Go ahead.
Okay. I can't hear myself though. Okay. So real quick, first let me just say this: everybody that is a part of the show, because of we talked to somebody online today, and then the fellas are here tonight with us. I just want to say that the acts were chosen very specifically. As much as I said this has been God-led, there were some people that I knew that I wanted to be involved, specifically Keys and Joe together, because I've known Joe and watched his growth since he was younger than you, Keys, and you guys remind me a great deal of each other. And me and Joe have spoke on that in regards to your energy and your grind and your hustle and the vision that you have, and that you're not just an artist, but you're an entrepreneur. You're taking your craft and you're very diligently figuring out how to make a viable income off of that. And a lot of artists are that way. So, and I chose the two of you because I knew the energy you were going to bring to the event. I knew you were going to lift it up. And then everybody else that's on the roster as a whole, and all the people that are helping, and Swamp is doing his thing, and O Sharp is doing his thing at the main event, and everybody that's involved all has a very good, genuine spirit. And I wanted that energy to be displayed across the board, everybody that was touching the event. So I appreciate you guys. October 5th, 6th, and 7th, this is next weekend. We are literally 7 days out. I want to say it has been an amazing experience working with Jasmine Kimball, who is David Banner's manager. This sister is on point. When I tell you she is on point, she is not playing. We are going to sell this out. This is going to sell out. They're pushing it. We've been pushing it. Tickets are still available. You can get your weekend pass for me. You can go to Lincoln Cafe at 740 East Long Street and grab them there. You can make sure you make it a point to say you're there to pick up the David Banner tickets, because everybody understands what that's about. Mm-hmm. You can also go to A Cut Above the Rest over there on Mount Vernon and 20th. Big ups to Al Edmondson and Leon Lewis for allowing me to utilize their brick and mortar to push these tickets through. You can go to eventbrite.com. You can grab just for the main event, just that night. If you just want to come see him speak, yes, you can purchase a ticket for just that night. You can also purchase a ticket for the entire weekend. And the weekend package includes a copy of the God Box album, entrance into all the events, and priority seating at the main event to see him speak. So you'll be right up front with him. So we have both of those available. Please get at me for those. Yes, you can buy tickets the day of. Man, yes, you can buy tickets the day of. You can buy your weekend pass that Thursday night at the Art of Republic at the kickoff open mic. Or you can buy the main ticket that Saturday night. The ticket box office opens at 4. The doors open at 5. We're rocking October 5th, 6th, and 7th. Come out at some point in time, get on a microphone, and speak your truth. We got giveaways. We got gifts. We're going to raffle off a God Box. We're doing a whole great deal.
Dope. That's super dope.
Dope.
Hey, Keys, anything like you want to say, man? Whether it be
Cop yo mother fucking tickets.
Right.
This is about to be the event of a lifetime. Not only because of the fact that we bring in Banner here, but the fact that there's about to be a lot of consciously aware hashtag stay woke individuals in the building that are also in the creative realm. So you're going to be able to meet with, network, entertain, speak with individuals that are like-minded. It's bigger than rap. It's deeper than anything at this point. I feel like everybody should definitely be in attendance. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely going to be something that will shift the perspective you have of life.
No doubt.
So that's real.
I think that I'm especially excited. I'm excited about the whole weekend too, and thank you, Meek, for allowing me to be involved. But I'm really anticipating seeing David Banner speak because for a plethora of reasons. But for one, being someone like he is, coming to speak to people who he doesn't know, and vice versa, people hearing somebody outside of the usual day-to-day circles with more experience and depth in life, I believe will change the minds of a lot of people that Saturday, and will encourage a lot of people that Saturday, and will give new motivation to a lot of people. I've seen him speak, not seen him. I've watched him speak before. I kind of know his overall mission from a standpoint. But to see it live and to see him look you in your eye and tell you the things that you didn't want to hear from a stranger and somebody who you think you know because you have a song in your playlist is really going to change some people's perspective. And then that's what I'm looking forward to. Like, I'm looking forward to coming out of there with a whole new thought process.
I think a lot of people who, I remember telling this to another brother that's out here, solution-oriented thinking. He's aware of some things that's going on, but instead of his focus being on the issue anymore, he's now thinking about the solutions to it. And I think what's going to happen is that a lot of brown people and black people, and even some white folks, because I got some conscious, aware white folks that are like, I'm coming. I want to see and hear. And that was the entire point. Come on. Understand us.
It's about the people. Like for God's sakes, can we stop putting fucking race on top of things?
Yeah.
Just bring the people out.
Yep.
I don't give a fuck what your color is. Bring the people out.
Right.
And they will get something will happen.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. That was the words.
You're gonna
get enlightened. And I think not to cut you off, but I think that's part of the reason why we struggle to move forward in our way of life and the way of thinking and being one as a people, is because somebody has to say the word race. There's somebody that has to say, bring the white folks out, bring the African Americans out, bring the Mexicans out. Man, just bring the people out. If you're a United States citizen and you live in Columbus, you need to be there this Saturday.
I think so too.
I don't give a fuck if you homeless. You got enough money to come to the David Banner thing. Come and see him speak.
Yeah.
Because it'll change the way you think. It'll change, even if it's not him per se. Just being around that environment and talking to people. If you happen to catch Keys come off stage, if you happen to catch iSoldier come off stage, pull him to the side and be like, man, how did you get to where you are right now?
Yep. Yes.
I'm trying to get to where you are right now. And you let Keys or Joe say it because of the humble men that they are, they're going to say, I'm not doing much. But to them, you're doing a whole hell of a lot more than I am, nigga.
Yep.
So how did you
get here?
How did you get here?
We got some youth coming too. The Columbus Urban League. Big ups to the Columbus Urban League for sponsoring 13 young adults to come to the event.
That's dope.
We're waiting to hear from the Y. We're waiting to hear from a few different youth organizations, Transit Arts. They're all interested. We just have to get everything going. But we're gonna have some young people in there too. And you know how we all talk. This is why this is gonna boom, because we touched on so many different avenues in the city that we knew needed to come together to understand what we're all doing. There's folks in the city that have no idea we have a community like this. They have no idea that there's chicks like me out here putting shit like this together. No clue. They're like, who are you and where are you? And I'm like, yo, you don't know anything about our underground community. Like, we have a creative community in Columbus. And I tell people all the time, if you are an artist and you truly want to hone your craft, because that's what Columbus will do for you, is allow you to hone your craft and allow you to make a little money, come here and check us out.
Yeah.
We're about to show people we got people coming in from Dayton, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Toledo. I made it a point to put it out all around the area because it's worth the drive. I drive for concerts. I drive for shows. Yeah. I'd much rather get on the road and go see something than do it here in Columbus. That's just me. That's what I like to do to have fun, to decompress. People are coming from all over the area.
And I've said this before. I think I might have said it when Keys was in here too, that Columbus has probably one of them, if not the most slept on underground communities in the country. Like, I've lived in quite a few places, New Orleans, for sure, that's home, and we have a big music scene there, but it has nothing on the way that the operation works for underground music in this city. And I DJ'd at Monkey's last weekend and saw there was probably about 15 artists that got on stage, but 13 of them I never seen before. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, shit. Like, this is crazy. Like, where are these people coming from?
Yep.
And then I got mad because I'm like, why in the fuck are we not all in the same circle somehow? Like, I understand sticking with your crew. I get that. And you don't have to be friends and be lovey-dovey with somebody else. But I almost guarantee, if you get in the studio with somebody you don't know, that loves what you love and can bob your head the way that they bob your head, that shit gonna be fire, and y'all gonna create a whole nother movement that is going to accidentally bring those two circles together.
Listen, I hope to God y'all do a show on this. We could have an entire show about why the circles don't intersect in the cliques in this city, and why there's no growth within this city.
Why can't we do like you just said? Why can't we just find a solution on getting that to be that way?
I mean, this is what we're doing, though.
I really don't care about why they're not doing it.
I didn't know you before this.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we're the living example. I didn't know you. I know Tiff. You know what I mean? I'm bringing artists together that I don't even, you know what I mean? Like, different areas of pockets.
Right.
We're gonna bring them all together because it proves to be a well-rounded production when you do that. Who wants to listen? And I'm not gonna name no names, but everybody in here is gonna know what I'm talking about when I say this. Who wants to keep going to the same show, seeing the same 5 vocalists rock over and over again? Who? Who wants to do that? The same 5?
You mean that sing cover songs?
Oh, okay. At any rate, so I'm just saying.
Man.
I thought that's what you meant. Okay, anyway, blah. Let me wrap this show up. You're exactly right. I'm so glad that Spin Sketch.
Because I know these people, man.
Exactly.
So do I.
I'm super glad that Spin Sketch and everybody has come together to make this amazing event. And that we have David Banner come in to represent the beautifulness that was put together by you. So good job, Miss Meek Perry.
Yeah, big shout out again.
Good. Like a fantastic job.
Thanks.
Like, I mean, not just, oh my God, you put David Banner on a flyer. Like, not just that. You brought a cohesive event that on paper makes sense, and I can't wait to see how
it comes about, man.
Comes into play. So, but I have 2 minutes, and I need my 2 minutes to wrap up my tips take. So excuse me, because Swam said we was on a time schedule, and I would like to get everything in that I researched. When I tell you I researched. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'm a newscaster out here because I've been watching CNN like crazy, following these stories. But long story short, so we have our 45 who is beefing with not only the NBA but the NFL. Short story on the NBA. Basically, every year the winning NBA team goes to the White House, takes pictures. Oh, nice, like excited to meet the president. Yada yada yada. The invitation was extended to the Warriors, who won last year the championship, and from Trump's perspective, Steph Curry was hesitating, and but basically the hesitation was a misrepresentation on his part, because it was an absolute flat out no, thank you. You're not our president. You're not a representation of us. You don't stand for anything that we stand for. So therefore, no, thank you on the invitation. He saw it somehow differently, and it caused LeBron to get involved, and he basically reiterated what Steph Curry said, while also adding in the fact that he felt like 45 was a bum. I thought it was pretty funny. There was a lot of backlash. I don't know if LeBron cares by any means. I'm certain he doesn't. He said absolutely that he stands by what he said. He meant it, and he's keeping it real. So in addition to that, we have our 45, who also commented on, the longstanding Colin Kaepernick situation, where he is choosing to take a knee during the national anthem. And then a lot of other players have joined in with him, especially in reaction to the fact that Colin Kaepernick has not been able to find another job. Now, yes, he was offered a couple positions, but it was not for the amount of money that he's worth, nor for the skill that his position requires. So therefore, he declined those offers. But in recent weeks, the Jaguars, the Ravens, decided that they would either kneel or lock arms, and in response to that, they got a lot of backlash. So some other teams like the Titans and the Seahawks and the Steelers decided, hey, instead of you guys deciding how we feel about standing or kneeling, we'll go ahead and stay in the locker room. So they decided to stay in the locker room, and then there was flack from that, causing 45 to say the remarks of great solidarity for our national anthem and for our country. Standing with locked arms is good, but kneeling is still not acceptable. There's bad ratings, not only due to boring games, but many stay away because they love our country. The league should back the U.S. And basically what he's speaking about is the fact that he feels that the NFL owners should get the SOBs off the field and fire them if they are refusing to stand. So while he pretends to honor your right to protest, he does not honor your right to protest. So he has a problem with your protest, whether it's silent, quiet, kneeling, standing, sitting, whatever it is.
It's a constitutional right. There's nothing he can do about that.
And probably I can say this out on Roger Goodell, the president of the NFL, is that he came out and he said, the NFL commissioner rather, right. He said, they're going to air a unity. They aired a unity video. In addition to that, he said, divisive comments like these demonstrate an unfortunate lack of respect for the NFL, our great game, and all of our players. And I feel in a failure to understand the overwhelming force for our clubs and players representing our communities, because he did want to highlight that, after Harvey and Irma, it was the NFL players who came out big time with their money, their resources, their time, their hard work, their camaraderie, and they were the ones helping people. And those are people that you stand by, whether they choose to stand or kneel for an outdated song. So our tips take is basically,
Are we going to? I think for especially for times like this, I know we talked about it before, but we really need to get that forum up online or on Facebook.
Working on it.
Yeah, so that when we have it,
we can have more discussion on it. Right. Absolutely. So we welcome more comment. Definitely check out DJ Swamp Thing at Aaron Saul at Facebook, and Swamp Thing DJ on Instagram, and Tiffany L on Facebook. You can check out some of the videos that we watched. Definitely there's a great one that Nick Cannon put out with a powerful piece of poetry, basically saying that he stands for CAPS. So what are your thoughts? Hit us up and let us know.
There you have it, man. Y'all have a great weekend. Make sure y'all, we'll be here next Thursday anyway to talk, to make sure y'all at Speaking the Truth. So See y'all next week, man. Y'all have a great weekend. We out.